there, looks to, oh, trouble. Jason Leffler, the 38 car.
34 car, hard impact with the inside of the wall on the backstretch there.
That's Jeff Fuller in the 34 car. Jason Leffler gets his car moving. Not sure exactly what happened to Jason Leffler. 2 weeks in a row, bad luck for Jason Leffler. Last week he never even took the green flag, and this week early on, trouble.
Yeah, we're at lap 29. He's got a lot of damage to his car right there. Didn't see exactly what happened. Happened over in the turn 2 area. We've been worried about turn 3. Seems like that's where most of the action goes on in those areas, but it's been everywhere but there tonight.
Classic case of the, the phrase we use a lot in racing: cautions breed cautions. We just get back, from a restart. Some guys with new tires, some guy with old tires, and a lot of guys got a lot of different things going on, and they seem to keep bunching themselves up and causing these problems.
We'll sort it all out when we come back as they make repairs to the Great Clips Chevrolet of Jason Leffler. We'll be back with more Busch Series racing from Kentucky Speedway. Welcome back to Kentucky Speedway, NASCAR Busch Series racing on FX. We're under caution right now for an incident on the backstretch. Jason Leffler, the 38 Great Clips Chevrolet, had some trouble, got turned around coming off turn number 2, and Jeff Fuller, in trying to avoid him, made some contact with the inside wall. NASCAR is working right now to get Jeff out of that car. They are going to cut the roof off, and a lot of times that just makes it easier to get the driver out.
That was a hard hit. He did a good job to avoid the 38, but that was a big wreck.
Yeah, the 38, second week in a row, I mean, having problems. He just got, turned around on the backstretch, and Jeff Fuller comes off and he's got two choices. He can hit the 38 in the side, and he takes evasive action and ends up making contact with the inside wall, as you see the damage there on the 38 car on pit road.
Yeah, Jeff Fuller in the 34 car did not run into the 38 of Jason Leffler. He was trying to avoid him and did avoid him, and he made some contact with the inside wall over in the center of the backstretch. Jason Leffler will continue to come down pit road to make repairs. There's a good shot of Clint Boyer, a 2-car. He's in the 14th position right now. Kyle Busch continues to lead here at Kentucky Speedway. Paul Menard second, David Gilliland in third. Kyle Busch trying to overcome a poor race last week at Nashville. Done a great job, had a good qualifying effort. Got our lead right now. We're going to sort it out, and we'll be back to Kentucky Speedway for more Busch Series racing right after this. We're back at Kentucky Speedway, NASCAR Busch Series racing on FX. NASCAR has decided to stop the field. They're parked over as they exit of turn number 4. There you see Kyle Busch, the Lowe's Chevrolet. He's our leader, and Paul Menard second. David Gillen with a great run in third. David Green fourth. And Tim Sauter in the 36 car in fifth. NASCAR is working to remove Jeff Fuller from his car on the backstretch. Jason Leffler had some trouble, spun out coming off turn number 2, and then trying to avoid Jason Leffler. Jeff Fuller made some contact with the inside wall. There's a view of Carl Edwards right there. He's being shown 23 laps down. Lost a transmission on the very start of the race. He's forced out into the pits and had to go to the garage area to change transmissions, and currently running 23 laps down.
That makes for a long night or a long day, when you have problems like that right off the bat and you're just doing all you can to go out there and collect points.
And we know he's got a good car, and that's what's really frustrating, Hermie, when you're 23 laps down, but you've got a car capable of running up front.
Yeah, but he's certainly aware that every point is crucial, in this battle for the Busch Series championship. Kevin Harvick has some problems too, but he was able to stay on the lead lap and has been making some progress back up through the field. And so these guys have got to get back on the racetrack, get as many points in position as they can, is to not get Kevin Harvick's already got a 275 or so point lead, and they can't afford to let Kevin Harvick get completely out of sight. So they got to get every lap they can and every point they can moving forward.
We're getting reports that Jeff Fuller was moving as you see them loading him in the ambulance. They will, I'm sure, take him to the infield care center to be checked out, and we will give you an update just as soon as we get one from NASCAR. Here's a look at what happened. You're going to see Jason Leffler, top right of your screen, have some trouble off turn number 2 there. He's already made contact with the outside wall. Here comes Jeff Fuller to avoid hitting him right in the door. He turns his car hard left, but unfortunately he's not going to be able to spin it around. He's going to make some awfully hard contact with the inside wall.
Phil couldn't hit it in a worse place. I mean, it was angled to the opening on the pit, inside wall on the backstretch. There's an opening there. Hit at a bad angle, hit flat, right there. Just a bad place to do that. But what Jeff Fuller was trying to do was trying to avoid hitting Jason Leffler. You're thinking it looks like there's a lot of time to make decisions here, but this is a split-second decision, from Jeff Fuller to come. If you'll notice, as he comes into the picture here, he's heading right for the door for Jason Leffler, decides to make a hard left to miss contact with Jason Leffler, and went right into the inside wall, hit it, at exactly the wrong spot where that opening is on that flat contact. And as you know, that flat part of the wall there is a bad place to do it.
Guys, there's Jason Leffler right there. Watch his right hand there. You see him moving his right hand. That's a great thing to see right there.
Jeff Fuller right there.
Yeah, that's a good thing to see. It looked like, like you were saying, Hermie, he did a great job to miss that. You can see how fast they're going right here.
You look at that at speed. It really puts it into perspective, the kind of contact he made with the inside wall. So very, very good sign to see away from Jeff Fuller.
You can see right here on this shot, you can see the safer barriers right there. Unfortunately, in that part of the racetrack, there were not any safer barriers. And as you mentioned, Hermie, Jeff Fuller made some contact right at the opening, so the angle was even probably worse than it would have been otherwise. Mark, give us an update.
Well, guys, you talked about Jeff Fuller moving. Earlier, he had radioed to his crew that he told them basically, I'm okay, but I'm in a lot of pain. And, of course, that's sort of a good thing because he never apparently lost consciousness despite that very heavy wreck. And they're certainly going to take him to the infield care center. And I bet that he'll go to the local hospital for at least a checkup. But really good news when he radioed his crew and said that, I'm okay, guys. The car's tore up and I'm in a lot of pain. But otherwise, when a guy can walk and talk his way away from something like that, that's a good sign.
Well, thank you very much, Mark. That is a good sign for Jason. And I'm sure you got all of us have been in those situations when you hit it always hurts. We'll be back and we'll see if we can get this race restarted. We're watching Busch Series racing from Kentucky Speedway. Fox, FX, and Speed's coverage of NASCAR continues tomorrow, beginning with NASCAR Race Day on Speed, leading up to Nextel Cup Series racing presented by AOL on Fox, and then NASCAR at Victory Lane wraps up the entire weekend on Speed. Our coverage of NASCAR continues all weekend long across the Fox networks. Here's our front row from Michigan. Casey Kane with his 4th pole of the season. Jeff Gordon, 2nd front row start on the outside of the front row. Tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern on Fox. Car still on the racetrack here early on. We've only run 33 laps. As you can see, 16 of those laps were run under caution. We've had 4 cautions already, 1 red flag, and 3 cars already out of the race.
You see why those guys are always parked up like that. They always do that in case the motors won't start back up, so you can stick it in gear, push the clutch in, and roll down, get your car started off. Man, we look at the 34 car right there. That is a ton of damage. That's not even the side he hit on. I mean, that is a ton of damage.
And it makes it look worse that the roof has been cut off, so the roof is not exactly where it would be. But here's another look at the wreck. Look at the top of your screen. You're going to see Jason Leffler gets up on the loose stuff, spins out. Jeff Fuller tries to avoid him and makes awfully hard contact with the inside wall. Let's take another angle right here.
Yeah, the 38 car just gets up high, loses control. You'll see Jeff Fuller come into the picture. If he'd have kept straight right into the side of the 38 car, makes a hard left to avoid contact with the 38 car. And as we've all seen and kind of marveled at, unbelievable contact with the inside wall coming off turn 2 in the middle of the backstretch at a bad place, right when the angle is opening on pit of the wall on the back straightaway. And in that opening, there's a flat spot there as the wall curves around. We might want to get a look at that so we can show it. But just pancake contact right to the inside of that wall on the backstretch. You see right there, right here, there's a flat spot right there on the inside of that wall as the opening comes into the backstretch, and he hit flat against the inside of that wall. And as you know, Phil, if you're going to crash these cars, you see a lot of guys, flipping and going down the straightaways and stuff like that. But nothing is worse than impact from when you're going 70, 80, in his case, probably over 100 miles an hour sliding to zero. Those are the ones that hurt.
It looks like he was not able to kill much of the speed on that car. Field back underway. We're going to be back for a restart here in just a moment from Kentucky Speedway. Welcome back to the Meyer 300 presented by Oreo. Kyle Busch leads after 35 laps. Paul Menard second. David Gilliland third. David Green fourth. And Tim Sauter rounds out the top 5. Let's take a look back at what's happened so far. Right after our green flag, Carl Edwards doesn't go.
Man, he just had a big transmission problem. He said he shifted into 3rd gear. His flat did not go.
Same lap, Hermie.
Same lap, a lot going on. It could have been, with Carl Edwards' problem, the field was checking up a little bit. Kevin Harvick spins out, damage to the left front of his car. There you see Morgan Shepherd going around, and it doesn't stop there, Phil.
There's David Arudem in the 99 car. Gets a little bump from the back from Greg Biffle. Around he goes.
Reed Sorensen having another transmission problem, they said. He couldn't get it out of gear. Spun on pit road.
And here's our bad accident that brought out the red flag. That's Jeff Fuller. Makes such hard contact that they're trying to avoid the spinning car of Jason Leffler. There's Jeff right there. You see him moving his hands around. Good sign. There's our Aaron's lucky dog right there, Carl Edwards. Now he was 24 laps down. Now he's only 23.
Just 23 more to go, buddy.
Well, the way we've been going, if we have that many more caution flags, Carl might be able to get all his laps back.
We did want to add, we got word that they are going to helicopter Jeff Fuller out to the local hospital for further evaluation, but a good sign that he was able to raise his arms up. We're all happy to see that and hope he's going to be okay. Very, very hard. It's hard to, justify the kind of contact he made. So we're glad to see him moving and going to check him out for further evaluation.
And as Mark told us, he told his crew that he was okay and in a lot of pain, and that was pretty obvious. So get ready for the restart. Kyle Busch will bring the field down.